What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. No, oh my God, I'm going through it. Happy Wednesday. A ball as well with everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. And you know what it is. It's a beautiful day out here today. You know, um, 70, maybe the high 70s today. So, I know a lot of people out here having a good time. It's a beautiful day. The weather is awesome. And this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-host, Kevin. Chuck is, I think, still on bereavement, and Rich Williams. Uh, with that being said, Real Talk Chronicles are sponsored by Soft Illusions Art Gallery. It is sponsored by Reggie Wells Quality Speakers. If you order them from Real Talk Chronicles, they go for $85. Oops. $85, but Reggie will give them to you for $75 if you mention Real Talk Chronicles. It's sponsored by the Deli Arts Magazine, number one martial arts magazine on Amazon. Get your magazines if you want to hear about martial artists. It's also sponsored by Melba Wilson. It's sponsored by Leon Ellis, Melba Wilson's restaurant on 114th and 8th Avenue. Frederick Douglass for those that are not Harlem Nights. And Leon Ellis Chocolat. It is sponsored by his also Harlem Underground. With that being said and saying all that, I'm your host, Bill Forster. There's a lot been going on in the world today, and we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to discuss it and see what's happening in this world because things are crazy right now. There was a bombing on the train, right? They have the individual. He was captured yesterday or today, matter of fact. Um, he was captured, 62-year-old something James, right? Okay. Uh, I think he's going to try to plead mental illness, something of that magnitude. We don't know. What's up, Frank? Yush, how are you? Long time no see. So, with that being said and saying all that, crime is still popping in New York City. Still, please be careful. There were 12 shootings on that same day, unrelated to the situation that happened. People, we still have to be careful. What's up, Jacob? My brother's in the building. Like I said also earlier, the show is also sponsored by Ingram Taxes. There aren't any taxes too small or too big that they can't handle. So if you need taxes, please reach out to Jacob Ingram and Ingram Taxes. If you need, he'll put the contact information in the bottom. What's up, Ern? Long time no see. How are you? Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. It's the podcast that keeps it real all day, every day. Don't lie. If you watch it from YouTube, subscribe to it. If you're watching from Facebook, um, share it. We'll talk about anything and everything that you want to talk to. I'm waiting for my co-host to come in. I think everybody's out and about or doing whatever they have to do. It's a beautiful day. Yankees are back in business. Baseball is here. Basketball season, the playing games are on. I know everybody's all over. For those that don't know, I'm doing a uh, brunch, brunch day party. The third Saturday of every month at Row House. This Saturday coming up. So if you're not doing anything, come by and say hi. And no, still be careful. There it is. Ingram Taxes is in the building. So if you need taxes, please. We're a countdown. But still, even after that, you need your taxes done. Ingram Taxes are the people that you want to deal with. Those are my people. Like I said, the show is sponsored by Deadly Arts Survival Magazine, sponsored by Reggie Wells, Quality Speakers, Soft Illusions Art Gallery, Melba Wilson, and it's also sponsored by Leon Ellis Chocolat. So what's happening with everybody? Like I said, so we have a bomber. Guys on the train. I had thought it was a disgruntled employee. For those that know, I'm a retired detective. So the first thing I thought about, how did somebody do that? What's up, Michelle? How are you? Tracy, how's everybody doing? For those that missed our lineup last Monday, you had Dr. Marilyn Corder in the building, and she was dropping some bombs, man. If you have diabetes, please go back and see that show. Dr. Carter was dropping some bombs. And here's my other partner in crime, Kevin Branzetti. He was doing his rock thing, I'm sure. What's up, Kevin? How are you?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Yeah, I was just made it back.
Good, good, good. But I'm glad you had a good time, man. You know, it's a beautiful day, right?
Gorgeous out. Gorgeous out. I'm just moving things around here. Turning the
No,
light
go
on.
ahead. That's all right. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. So, with that being said, um, this guy, I thought he was a disgruntled employee because that station, even though its volume, it wasn't um, like a main station, like a 42nd Street, a Penn Station, something like that, 14th, 23rd, you know. And I was like, but we'll find out why. Trust me. You see, NYPD acted very fast to apprehend this guy. What do you think about that, Kev?
I mean, you knew he was going to get caught. I didn't think there was a chance. You know, and clearly he made some heavy mistakes. Thankfully.
Yes, exactly.
You know, I can't just say. We got lucky there.
Mm-hmm.
He did make some errors.
Yes, that definitely. Um, Also, I will mention it. I will not go in too much into it, but uh, Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin got brought up on Fed charges. Um, I know Brian personally, know his family. I will not dog him while he was down. I didn't dog him when he was up, so I'm not going to dog him down. And we'll just wait to see what happens with his case. I just wish him and his family all the best. I'm so sorry to hear uh, that happened. That situation has occurred. Um, Maybe up and coming, shining star. But you know, who who am I to throw stones at somebody? You know what I'm saying? And well, guess we'll have to see what happens. I guess. And coming in also is my man Richard Williams. What's up, brother Rich? How are you?
What's good? What's good?
Nothing. Happy Wednesday, man. It's a beautiful day outside, isn't it?
Of course it is.
I know everybody wanted to be out there. Colin, what's going on? How are you? Colin, I was telling everybody about Monday's show how Dr. Corder was dropping bombs. She was just giving everybody the good business on the diabetes. And I got to give a special thank you to Richard. There was an event held Monday in New York, of course. A brother of ours, Mark Austin, was doing a business thing, supporting business. And I wasn't able to be there. I had a doctor's appointment, 9/11 stuff. And Richard was, and of course, and then I had the show. So Richard represented Real Talk Chronicles. And I heard he did an excellent job. So I appreciate you, brother, for that. Showing face. Kevin Graves is in the building. What's up, Kevin? How are you? Shout out to everybody chiming in. Sylvia, what's going on? How are you? Good evening. Sylvia, one day we got to bring you in too. And we're going to talk about, another correction officer segment with you. We want to bring you in and some other correction officers. Colin said it was a great show. She's so real. Yes, she is. And she wants to come back. Maybe we'll bring her here on a Wednesday. She wants to talk about autism. So that's something too. And there's so many things going on. Rich, we were talking about the bomber on the train. He got arrested. I was telling everybody that I thought he was a disgruntled employee because it wasn't a main station, but it was a volume station. But like on the one line, I would consider it to be like 103rd Street, something like that. It wasn't like a 96th Street or something like that. But what do you think about that whole situation? Shame on him. You know what I'm saying? To think he could get away with that. Hey, Stefania.
You asking me what do I think?
Yes.
Man, listen. There's a lot of crazy folks out here, man. I mean, this country is really vulnerable to a lot of stuff. Every time I cross a bridge or go in a tunnel, I think about the possibilities of things that could possibly happen with somebody that's disgruntled or just right straight crazy. I know we talk about, crazy people all the time, but that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And it's a shame, Stefania says, at 62 years old, this is what he chooses to do. Ridiculous. Absolutely. Shout out to Sister Brenda's in the building. Colin said he's no bomber. He's a punk. Absolutely. Like, why would you do something so asinine? And then, I guess you're gonna use it, not to make light of the shit, but you're gonna use a U-Haul truck as a getaway car. Really? Like, dude. You think people weren't going to see you? And Kev, just for edification for people that's listening, it was a level 1 mobilization. Can you just break down what a level 1 mobilization is for the RTC listeners, please?
That's actually a small mobilization considering what it was.
Right.
And I don't even recall the exact numbers. It's one of our lower ends. You're just bringing in the task force. So every borough has a task force assigned to it. That's there for help for big crowds, big emergencies, and they're called to the scene. Sometimes it's also for high level missings. Right, you get like a 5-year-old kid that's gone missing. You're going to call a level 1. You're bringing in extra cops. A level 1 for that is actually pretty small.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because they had all hands on deck for that one. It really was.
Yeah,
I mean,
there was. I don't know who's going to be in charge of the discovery for that, but I will tell you, they're going to quit afterwards. It is going to. You have to get to understand this. They have to get the body camera of every cop who walked through that block.
Yeah.
You'll talk hundreds, and it's due in just a couple of weeks. Like it is. This is not. There was a time where prosecutors loved these kinds of cases, right? You wanted the high. You get a case like this, it is not pleasant.
No.
You're working 20 hours a day for the next couple of weeks, and this is usually like the end of your career. It's the highlight and the end all in one.
Yeah, I mean, you got Intel, you had Joint Terrorist Task Force, FBI. You had everybody on it because people didn't know at first if it was, somebody like a terrorist act. Like I said, I didn't have that feeling just because of where he did it and how he did it. I mean, I can't say a terrorist not going to shoot people, but you're shooting people, and it wasn't like he was really shooting to kill. He was shooting to hurt.
How do you know that?
Well, I'm just saying because I don't think it was any like vitals. Like people are critical, right? I mean, I'm just saying like a lot of leg shots. I think.
I just think it's normal. I think it's just when you shoot like bullets go where bullets go. Like it's not. I'm not going to give him any sort of benefit of doubt saying he wasn't trying to kill people.
Well, no, I wasn't saying it like I'm trying to give him a pass. By no means, about all. I'm not trying to give this nut a pass. And I say a nut, I say it figuratively, and loosely. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like he was doing headshots and stuff like that. That's what I was trying to say. I mean, a lot of times when people shoot, depending on if you're shooting to kill, you're shooting center mass and stuff like that. A lot of people seem like came out with leg wounds and stuff. And I mean, people are shot. I mean, there might be people shot in the torso, but the thing is, he, nobody is likely. That's what I was trying to say.
So when you're not an experienced shooter, right, one of the mistakes people make is a downward shot, because what you're doing is when you're pressing the trigger, you're waiting for that blowback, and you're kind of go.
Anticipation. You're talking about
anticipation will make you shoot down.
Right, anticipation.
So it is very normal for an inexperienced shooter to shoot low.
Right, definitely.
So that may all of it was.
Yeah.
Stefania keeps asking if we've seen the clips of the YouTube video. I haven't. Does it still exist?
Yeah, I saw it.
does it still exist? It's not on YouTube anymore.
They were actually showing it on the news. They were showing those news clip of his YouTube channel on the news, and he was saying all kinds of crazy stuff, inflammatory stuff. You know, it was crazy. But it was a guy on there that they said he watched him put the mask on and throw the canister. And then he started shooting it. This guy said that he swung at him and missed him. You know, tried to punch him, and he missed him. And then the guy shot him in his leg, but it didn't hit him. It went through his pants leg. But he laid down there like he was hit. He said he thought he was hit.
Yeah, and like my man Alfie said,
Bill, he was taking a lot of shots that weren't to appear to be targeted towards killing somebody. It was like trying to shoot you in the leg, stuff like that.
And that's what I was trying to say earlier. Yeah, like
Kevin's point, you were saying that it takes an experience. Well, that's a shot of a non-experienced shooter, right?
Yeah, I'm not giving him any credit there, Rich.
But I heard you make that same argument with police officers that shoot wildly and hit somebody, shoot them more, give them a mortal shot. So, I mean, what are we talking about here with that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's so funny. I mean, a lot of times
Kevin froze up on me on that one.
I did. You were talking about me, so I clicked my 2G switch so I could pretend not to hear anything.
No, I just heard you make that same argument in situations where cops mistakenly shoot people in this excitement, and you know they're experienced, you know, but they can't seem to manage to shoot somebody in the leg, but they can shoot them mortally. You know, they can kill you, but they can't hit you, because a lot of people argue, well, why did they have to shoot him in the chest when they could have shot him in the leg? And what you're saying is that you have to be experienced to hit somebody.
Yeah.
Center mass, all that.
This guy's on a close.
If you get somebody center mass, why you can't be experienced enough to shoot him in the leg and not kill him?
This guy's on a closed train, fired 33 shots, and the majority of his shots missed.
Well, like Amadou Diallo was in the hallway. He close quarters, and he got hit 40 some odd times by experienced shooters. And he got shot in the bottom of his feet.
Yeah.
I don't know what it has to do with this, but okay.
No, I'm just talking about experienced shooters.
And my argument's always been the NYPD is not experienced shooters. That's the problem.
Now I got it.
Yeah.
You can't go straight and slice a year for 2 hours.
In my opinion, he didn't appear to be out to kill anybody. He was out to scare the shit out of a lot of people when he did that.
And that's why I thought he was a disgruntled employee. You know what I'm saying? Because Kevin, you know, and I mean, Kevin, you and I, we've done a lot of cases, and we've sat in and we listened to so many different experts talk about, you know, serial killers and suicide bombers and stuff like that. I mean, like if you talk about with Dylan Roof, when he goes into church, like he went to church to kill people. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and that's why I keep saying, you know, I don't even know.
This guy went to kill people?
No, I don't.
I don't know how you can miss a kill shot in a crowded train, though.
Kev, what I'm trying to say, when I say like trying to kill people, I'm not saying that he went in there saying I want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt people. To shoot somebody, there's 50-50 chance you're going to kill them, right? I mean, let's be facts. But what I'm trying to say is, from all the shooting that he did and not have any fatalities, that tells me he wasn't trying to kill people. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I'm trying to say,
I'm going to remember this. I'm going to bury this in the back of my head. I might have to look at some old clips of our conversations when it was do that.
Kevin, and please don't misconstrue what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to give this dude a pass. Do I think he's need to be thrown under the jail and play with the rats? Absolutely. Right? Like I don't
never see the light of day like that.
That's what I'm trying to say. I get all that, and I'm saying all that, and I'm saying it on the record. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know, what is he getting charged with? Attempted murder? He's not getting charged with murder?
No,
he's getting charged with a terrorist act.
if he's getting charged with a terrorist act, that means that. So to charge you with a terrorist act, they have to have something else, meaning they've got something off his phones.
Yeah, they're attaching
videos.
it to his YouTube page and the statements
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
made there.
You can't charge him just based off the shooting. You have to charge him. You have to prove the intent then with terrorist act. So they got to have something else.
Yeah, I believe they do.
You know, they won't charge that without it.
But I'm like you, Bill. I don't want this guy to get off on some crazy. He's crazy. He needs to be hugged and all that shit.
Nah.
He's one of those guys because, and what we were just talking about, he was calculated in. Okay, he didn't appear to be trying to kill anybody, right? And that's just my opinion.
Right.
So that shows me a level of sanity that whatever he did, he was trying to make a statement.
That's my point. And Kev, come on, stay with me on this. I mean, like,
I am.
What he did was premeditated. We all know that. This wasn't a random act. This was premeditated. He knew the time from that, how long that train was going to get to that station and what time frame he had to do what he had to do. The one thing is the smoke was a diversionary tactic. Mm-hmm. Why do the smoke anyway? But everybody saw his fat ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you standing next to me, and then next thing you know, like you said, Rich, he swung. Or was it you or Kevin? Somebody just said that.
I did that.
Yeah, he swung at the dude, and then he missed. Oh, shame on him. But I mean, thanks for trying to be a hero. But then you got shot for that. And then if the guy has an automatic, or or even a semi-automatic, like Albie said, he had his hand on the trigger, and he just starts spraying. So now he's spraying at anything, and because you know what are we going to do when bullets start flying? We're going to turn the other way and run. So now he doesn't want people to see him. And what does the smoke bomb do? It's a diversionary tactic. So when the train pulls in the station, everybody is in chaos, and he slithers his, and I use the word slither his ass out of the station. That's how he was able to get away.
And he's not mobile. It's this guy is a slow guy. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
When they arrested him, he appeared to be like he was limping. You know, like he didn't look like he was in any shape to run nowhere. So he walked out of there.
I'm gonna read some comments real quick, but Kevin, I'm gonna ask both of you the question, and Rich, you already kind of said what you felt too. Kevin, do you think, just hold this thought too, unless one of these these questions or statements make you say something else? But do you think, how do you feel about him pleading like mental illness? Kevin Graves is in the building. He said for Frank James to remain in the city and have the Joint Terrorist Task Force, NYPD, FBI, ATF, and U.S. Marshals and all this resources, it was only a matter of time before he got caught. After that, Sylvia said he planned it out. Sylvia said, yeah, if he gets off because he's crazy, then there's a problem. Brenda said he's got to play the mental illness card. Exactly. Albie said terrorism. I think because he targeted mass transit. That might be a point. You know what I'm saying? Because the bottom line is, what then we got to look up what is terrorism. You know what I'm saying? Domestic or foreign, like multiple people. Stefania said, guys, he couldn't see properly. There was smoke everywhere. Okay. Sylvia also said, plus there was smoke on the train. Yep. Albie said levels to it. Let's talk about what security measures we need to fix. That's a good point. We will touch that right now. Stefania said, what do you guys think about the people saying that they don't believe he's the real perpetrator due to his age and how slowly he walks? Colin said, ship his ass off to Ukraine. I said ass. Colin said, ship him off to Ukraine and let's move on. If he really wants to throw smoke bombs and shoot off guns, yeah, exactly. Because the bottom line is, if you and this is the thing. This is what kills me too. Rich, before, I don't know if you heard me before you came on. That day when this all happened, there still was 12 people shot in the city of New York. So like crime didn't stop. Asinine, silly stuff is still going on. So all these people that like to bust guns for turf or whatever, if you got feelings, let's go to war. You know what I'm saying? Like the old movie. I'm dating myself. The Dirty Dozen. You know what I'm saying? Send all these people, send their ass to war.
Take them out of the prisons.
Send them.
Put them out there. So you want to kill somebody? Go ahead, get out there.
You're a tough guy. You like busting your guns. Go to war. Go to war. You know what I'm saying? What? United States. Here, we got 1,000 prisoners. Take them. If we side with Ukraine, here, send them to Ukraine. Put some guns on them. if anything, they're gonna shoot each other or they're gonna shoot the people that they supposed to. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Mark? Frank said for the change of a terrorist act, the prosecution has to have had evidence that the actions followed a pattern leading to social and government change demands. Thanks, Frank. Appreciate that. You know that's insight. You know what I'm saying? Because this is right now, man. Come on,
Bill,
like,
I think the bigger question is right now is something like that just highlights the vulnerability that the city has.
right,
When it
right,
comes to this mass transit and think not just this city, this country, man.
yeah,
The
yeah,
ability for somebody at any point to just turn his hate and his venom on innocent people, you know, people that are just oblivious to whatever's going on with that person or whatever the plan is of a group of people to make whatever statement they're trying to make at the cost of lives.
right,
And people are fighting tooth and nail for their rights to have these privacies and these freedoms to be able to say and do and carry whatever they want. But at the same time, when somebody they love gets killed, then they cry and foul, hey, yo, we need this, we need that. But where was that argument before? And it's a hard pill to swallow when you gotta deal with all of this crime that's going on in the city where, loved ones are getting killed in the Bronx. The little girl got shot and killed, 16-year-old girl coming out of school, and the other two kids got shot and they lived. I mean, the mother that got shot up there, what is that, Fordham Road, coming home from work, man. She's coming home from work.
yeah.
And these fucking dudes out there arguing over whatever the fuck they arguing over. It's not worth somebody's life, especially somebody has nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
And you're risking killing anybody for some petty ass words or beef you got with somebody, And it's about what do we do? I mean, you got all of these right groups that say, oh, these people need rights, and I'm with that to a certain degree, but something's got to give, man.
Yeah. Real talk.
Something's definitely got to give.
Real talk. It's sad. I mean, and like I said, people are talking. This dude now, Lincoln. Shout out to Lincoln in the building, Lincoln Sessions. He said, angry, frustrated, lonely, and more causes people to flip. Our mental health programs need revamping. He had to have underlying mental issues. Now, Link, I'm under the belief that I'm a strong believer that people have mental illnesses, issues, health issues. What I do have a problem with every time somebody does mass shootings or things of that nature, that we throw mental illness in the game, because I feel like that's a parachute for people just to get off. Because now, if we're claiming this dude is mental illness, we've seen cases, movies have been made about people saying, I'm claiming insanity. You know what I'm trying to say? And then they get off. So, Lincoln, what's your thought process in the fact that this guy might use that as a thing? Because for him to have underlying conditions, like you said, what he did was premeditated. That wasn't a random act. Anybody knows anything about, especially from a law enforcement standpoint, Kevin, correct me, and Rich, you've been around a long enough law enforcement to know certain things like that, to have a gas mask, to have a smoke bomb, you know what I'm saying? And then to have that arsenal of guns with him. That wasn't like, oh shit, I want to go see a friend of mine. And talking about, I want to definitely, I don't want to forget what you said, because I definitely want to talk on that. And you just said something. He said, we really ain't prepared for anything. They are just taking our money and we blind or don't really care about it. They couldn't prevent the Twin Towers bombing, and they knew that was another story. Pandemic can't even get us a mask till years later. They got the technology to do away with gas, but they won't release it. Stefania said, excuse me, Stefania said, I don't know, guys. These streets are saying that he's the fall guy and not the real perp. Could this be true? Hey, Lisa, I'm a survivor. Happy belated birthday to you, too. Lynn said, why aren't the cameras working in the subway station? So let's Lincoln, if you get chime in and let me know what you think about what I just said. And I want to get back to what Albie said. So what do we do preventive now? How do we prevent this happening again? Because Kev, you and I know police department is a proactive situation. You know what I'm reactive situation. I'm saying. So right now, what are you going to put? Listen, we have enough resources to put a police on every station if we wanted to, but nobody's doing that. Go ahead, Kev.
The proactive stuff is done, right? Like, but what can you do? So, like, if somebody's posting, "I hate everybody, you all should die," and pictures of them with a gun, what can you do with that? Right? I can talk to you. You haven't committed a crime.
No, but let me say this, Kevin.
That's the problem. I've been investigating violent extremists for 13 years. 15 years? No. God, I forget what year we're in. Well, 19 years now.
Right.
It's been my world. There are lots of these characters out there, and much more that get arrested, that get brought to medical attention, that get brought for help than you'll ever know. Far more than that make it to the street. Far more. So there is a lot of practice. You just can't. We can't figure out what we do with our mentally ill.
Okay, but let me just interject, Kev. I heard everything you said, and I agree with you. I'm not disputing anything you just said, and I know you've definitely been very have an integral stake in what you've been doing, following violent extremists. With this being said, when you say something over social media, Facebook, Instagram flags you if you say anything that they feel deemed. They put you in Facebook jail if you say anything too disrespectful, right? Saying that I want to kill people, I hate these people, I hate that people, that's something that your ass needs to be flagged. So first and foremost, going to what you're saying and Albie is saying, let's flag that. Stop flagging the shit about I hate Democrats and Republicans, they can kiss my ass shit. And then talk about, that goes against my community standards. Really?
They do flag it, Bill. The problem is they just flag it. They don't report it.
But see, that's what I'm trying to say, Kev. They need to report that.
Years ago, the federal government came out with a law that forced these companies, social media, emails, to report child rape videos and images being passed on. They must report it. It's under the law. There's no law saying me posting online, I 2 guns in my hand, I'm going to go out and kill some effing whatever tonight. They'll close my account. They won't report me. Will not.
So in there lies the problem. That's an elephant in the room that I think we all agree with, right? Because the bottom line is, Kev, listen, that's the mother effer we need to be looking at. Like, yo, dude,
and I got to check that out. I mean, is that a fact, Kevin?
You got 100%, Rich. It's not questionable.
Okay, because I know when
I'm in my business for a long time. When
I worked for the Department of Ed, if a kid came in and there was some signs of abuse or neglect, or if the child said something and we didn't report it, and then something happened, and then the kid happened to say, well, I told Mr. Williams, my ass was in trouble.
Yep, because it's the law. You must report. Again,
so that should be held to the same standard when it comes to these outlets like Facebook, whatever, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever's out there. If you're going to be a organization that deals with media, multimedia, and you got this format out there, you have to monitor your own shit and be held accountable for shit like that. So, for instance, this guy said all of this shit. That means they should have knew it and reported it. He acted on it, so they should be held accountable for the shit too. When you start holding people accountable for shit like that, they police it themselves better.
Federal law makes them immune. You can't even sue them. You cannot sue because the problem is, and why they're protected, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're all protected because you own your Facebook page, you own your Instagram page, and you're responsible for your data. They're not responsible for what you put on yours. So they don't have to report you, and you cannot sue them. It's been tried dozens of times. Everyone has been thrown out by the Supreme Court. Garbage. They have zero liability.
Let me just read some comments, fellas. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-hosts, Kevin Branzetti and Richard Williams. And, this is sponsored by Ingram Taxes and is sponsored by the Daily Arts Survival Magazine. Lisa said She said educators are mandated reporters. Okay, cool. Frank also said, Richard, Facebook is not under the must report status. Okay. Uh, Let me read some. Lincoln, I see you. You said 3 types of people: those who were in therapy, those in need of therapy, and those who will eventually need therapy. This is a terrible act, and many do similar, unfortunately. The sign shows early is most cases. It is up to educators, counselors, family members, etc., to recognize and report to get this assistance, especially at early age. I totally agree with that. Uh, Kevin Graves said, "That's true, Kev. However, individuals like that should be put on a list. There are people who make threats and don't follow through." Lisa also said, "Lisa, I'm a survivor." She said, "Mental illness does not excuse crime of any sort. My opinion. I believe people who with mental illnesses should be convicted like anyone else. However, they should receive mental health resources as as part of rehabilitation while incarcerated." What do you guys think about that? Let me read what Mark says. He said, "Did this dude really use a smoke bomb like Batman? New York is about to unleash the dragon, in my opinion. The weapons and all other deadly devices, not good. We have to be aware of copycats." That's true. Al B also says, "Nah, he's the guy." I think he's referring to what you were saying, Stefania. He says, "Nah, he's the guy. It's now somebody who would never act from fear sees it's that okay. F if I'm gonna try he said. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, everybody. You know what's happening out here, and I just feel like Albie was saying, like what Richard was saying, Kevin, you were saying, and everybody's saying, basically, let's watch it. I don't know if you all remember the movie Seven with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt.
Good movie.
Yeah, excellent movie, right? I loved it. It's one of my favorites.
Sure.
Yes, right. Kevin Spacey. What they did when they were doing their investigation is when you go to the library and you pull out certain books, you get flagged, right? So I say all that to say, even though people don't even understand, when you talk on these phones, it's like with Jason Bourne in the movie when he said Blackbriar, all of a sudden that was flagged. Certain things get flagged. Don't think that, I'm just using that as an example, but there's some truth to that. So please, everybody, just understand that. So I think the moral of my story is, listen, maybe like Frank was saying, Facebook is not what it's supposed to be, like a situation where you have to report, but maybe Facebook needs to mandate that. Because like I said, I've seen more people come out of Facebook jail for telling somebody to go F themselves and get paid in 30 days. I've seen, Facebook tried to jam me up for something that I posted 2 years ago. I was like, wait a minute. And I said,
Phil, I report you every week to Facebook just to see.
I said something about, they said something about what would you do in this situation? I said, beat that ass. And next thing you know, they was like, you're getting shut down because it goes against community. We're here to promote peace. Kiss, what? Are you serious? I'm saying it in a jest. So now that I promoted violence, so you telling me, like you said, 2 guns on the screen. I hate white people. Clink, clink. I hate black people. Clink, clink. I hate everybody. I'm going to kill somebody. That ain't shit to be flagged.
Hey, but you know what, Kev?
They don't tell us, Bill.
And Bill, all of this shit is flagged by the government. Don't think it's not. I mean, you know what the problem is? You got so many different crazy organizations like the Ku Klux Klan and all of these right wing and crazy people out here that say this stuff on their YouTube
Richard's Renegades
and Facebook. It's just too many of them doing it for them to say, okay, to police them all, so to speak,
No, I'm going to disagree with you, Rich.
Huh?
They absolutely can.
Police them all?
Yeah, they're doing it right. Rich, they're taking so much data from you. They know your likes, your dislikes. They know when
but I'm not saying they don't know.
They know the last time you had an STD. They know everything about you.
But Kev, how do they decide who to go and snatch up before it happens? When there's so many people making these statements.
Yeah. But here's what happens today, right? Like, I get called. I have hundreds of these, right? We get a lead on Mr. Frank James. Facebook deleted all his crap twice. Instagram deleted it. So now I'm the investigator looking at it. There's nothing out there on him. And Facebook didn't report it, and I can't see it, don't know it exists. So I don't know he's been posting this crazy stuff as the investigator. They didn't tell me. They deleted it. Facebook knows, and I've seen this. I mean, I know how those systems work. But Facebook, Instagram, it's all the same. They delete my account. I open up a new one. They delete me again. I open up. They know it's the same person who's putting the same vile stuff out there, and they just keep removing them instead of going, all right, maybe the fifth time we have to make a notification to somebody. This guy needs help. Somebody needs to be told.
So, Kevin, are you saying that they're just that's they're CYA-ing? That's how they're covering their ass, just delete the person?
That's it. That's all they have to do. It's all they're mandated to do. Like I said, with child images, they're mandated, so they do it. Before the law came down, they weren't doing that either.
Man, I think the government is just selective on who they approach with this. Because I mean, when, like I told you, I did group homework, and we had a kid named Matthew. He was the only white kid in our program. He was on 116th between second and third, and this kid was really smart. I'm talking back in the 90s, early 90s. He was able to get the president's phone number, direct number somehow, and call George Bush Sr. The fucking Secret Service was at the door in a matter of hours, snatching his little ass up.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. Listen, they'll come at you for more shit. I mean, what about it? They always talk about threats against the president. Like they got a unit for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many times we don't hear about how many people get arrested for threatening the president? I mean,
they have lists of people that they visit regularly. If the president's going to, Salt Lake City next week, they already know a list of people who've done it before there, and they're getting visited. Like they're getting checked on. Like, they keep tabs on that.
Yeah, like
with the president, those threats done very well, kept very well protected, and they should be, right?
Yeah.
The rest of it, no.
Yeah, but if somebody's talking about going on a subway or blowing up a building, those people need to get checked on.
They don't.
Storming the Capitol.
They don't tell us.
Well, you know what? Let's that in lies the problem. And that's the biggest problem that we
Gima said it perfectly. If they can look at spending trends, but not see my terrorism trends, like they know your spending trends, they know your shopping trends, they know every trend about you. They can tell your violent trends.
Yeah, and they say, "Yo, you still need that gunpowder."
They can see all that. And when you become more dangerous, what happens is guys like this, guys, they go into an echo chamber. They keep repeating the same stuff. Jihadists watch the same beheading videos over and over again. Dylan Roof watched the same shooting videos all over again. They watch because the only one that really is out there is the one from New Zealand. I don't even want to give the guy's name. F him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the one in New Zealand was out there because he live streamed it. They watch it over and over and over and over again and get desensitized. YouTube knows this. Venmo knows it. Facebook, they know that the person's hitting that dangerous thing. Just like they know Kevin got a bonus check and he's doing extra shopping this week. They know. Right? Like they know Rich is looking for a car. You're gonna get 100 car ads. Right? They know.
Yo, so let me read you something, everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-hosts Richard Williams and Kevin Branzetti. Listen, Albie said, yo, my girl got a purse from robbing the Coach store. She got paid. I'm going next time. I just gotta laugh. Yo, the city ain't safe. You do what you want to do. Let me read this statement too. Albie said, how would you make the subway safer in New York City? I'll start with you, Rich, and then you can go, Kev, chime in.
How would I make it safe?
Yes. I think he said that you're the mayor now.
Yo, man, listen. They were talking about getting the machines, the same kind of machines that you need when you walk through the courthouse. Same machines that you use to get on the airport. But they were saying that how it would slow down mass transit. I mean, but hey, technology is more up to date now, where you don't really have to stop people. You walk through, and you can get X-ray, but then now you violating privacy and all of that shit.
Hey,
But-
Rich, hold that thought real quick. I just want to interject because you're right with that. You know, imagine if they did that, because they could do that. They do that to our kids in school, right?
Think about it though, how many subway entrances there are.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking, just there's 10 major entrances and that's all you got to do.
But
There's
you know how many people will be going off all the time? Beep, bop, beep, bop.
And then you have to have
belts,
them,
guns,
man.
all kind of shit.
Like, that's a tough one.
Well, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I mean, nobody wanted to have these scan machines in the schools and all of that, but it cut down on guys bringing guns to school,
Yeah,
and weapons to the school. It was inconvenient, true, but I mean, it's just like it's inconvenient now to get on planes since since 9/11, people had to make that adjustment.
So hey, Albie asks us this question. He says, Bill, you're the mayor, Kevin, you're the commissioner, and Will, you're the DA for the New York City. So first and foremost, you were Richard. That's a good idea, what you were talking about. I mean, like we're talking about scanners, right? You know what's so funny? This city is gonna go to, like, we all know, Albie, when you and I left the job, Kev, listen, there was a chip in our card. You know what I'm saying? Right? So listen, pretty soon there's gonna be some eye scanning shit. You know, you go somewhere, now you gotta to get on the train, all that hopping shit, boom, to even get down to the subway station. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
they can put them shits in the hallways before you actually get to the turnstile and flag a motherfucker that might potentially have it. It doesn't even have to be everybody. It could be random. It could be just something to say, hey, we check it. You know what I mean? We ain't stopping everybody, but if you go through some of those entrances to the subway has a tunnel. You ever see Born Supremacy where people are walking and then there's that camera and then they do the facial recognition and say, oh, there that motherfucker is right there. So, I mean, some of that stuff has to be utilized. I mean, we live in a world where technology that the common people know, we think it don't exist when it really does, and it's at an advanced level. And by the time we hear about it, it's old, you know. Like, I watched Star Trek when I was a kid, and all of the shit that Captain Kirk and Spock had, the motherfuckers had cell phones, they had iPads, they had all of that shit,
kind of shit.
And now they have it today, and it's like, don't tell me they don't have shit like that right now.
Like Albie said, he said, let's make the entrance of hot proof. Frank says, and Frank is a retired NYPD officer too. He said all the algorithms, use the social media and all the platforms can, like you said, create profiles for trends and to determine your desired and nearly next thought. But they always hide the knowledge from law enforcement claiming protection of clients' privacy. Deborah said, carrying your weapon legally, what the TF? Now people got to know you carry. Let me tell you something. I was in PA earlier today, right? Had to take care of some business. Man walking his dog, got his 38 on his hip, just walking his dog. So I'm like looking at this dude, and I'm saying, this dude is walking like everything is beautiful. And he got his 38 hanging on his hip. So the guys that I hooked up with, I said, yo, listen, enlighten me. I know PA, you get a carry permit, you know what I'm saying? So they said, yo, Bill, in PA, if you don't have to have a carry permit if you show your gun. You can just carry your gun. I said, get the gun. They said, if you want to conceal it,
then you need a permit.
You need a permit. So I'm saying, dude was walking down the street whistling Dixie with his dog, little Spanky, just kibbles and bits all the way. And he had his gun on his hip like, yo, he was ready. Now, why do you need a gun to walk a effing dog, man? You know, and the part of PA I was in, it wasn't it's not dangerous. So it threw me for a loop. I was really thrown for that, you know.
I think they, you know, like the all of the people that support carrying weapons, they say, listen, if everybody had a gun, who would the bad guy rob? You know,
yeah.
If I'm in a bar and every fucking body in the bar's got a gun, who's gonna come in there and stick that shit up? if everybody pulls a fucking gun out, right?
Yeah, it was like in a movie, like I'm gonna get you like one of them shit, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Same thing with a supermarket. And like you, Bill, I went to PA to visit my cousin. I pull up in a gas station. Every place I went, people had a gun out where you could see it. And they was just as nice and happy. You know, like, hey, how you doing? You know, they didn't have any fear of me because I was a big black guy, you know, because they had this big ass fucking 357 Magnum, you know. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Where you from? You know?
Yeah, they was like, he ain't that big and black, you know. They must have capped his ass.
And because I didn't have a gun, they said.
Yeah. Like, let me read some more. Kevin Graves said the MTA is going to be under pressure now to make sure that the security cameras are fully operational in all subways. You know, Kevin, you're totally right, but it should have been done a long time ago. What's up? Yeah, Curtis Ollie said, he said, what, like the Jetsons back in the day. Yeah, George and Jane and Judy and Astro and shit. Frank said, you guys are on point, but most people will start complaining about government spying and violations of rights. You know, that's crazy. You're right, Frank, because this is crazy. The fact that people got to live in fear, and the only people in New York that can carry guns are the perps. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we go back to 9/11 and other instances. We started doing bag searches in subways, right? You had to show your bag, and people complained, and then it became only voluntary. Yeah. So only people who volunteered to open their bag got their bags checked going into the subway.
Yeah.
You know, like it was. That's what we hit.
Well, somebody just hit me up. A young lady by the name of Millie. She said, "Why not have every station have canine dogs that can kind of detect certain things like weapons and things like that?"
You can mix it up. You can't. Again, we have 1,000 stations.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have 1,000 dogs, which means 5,000 dogs.
That means you got to
like there's different tours. There's days off. They can only work so many hours. You got to split them into. You know, a dog can't do an 8-hour day.
No, he can't. He can't do a damn near 2-hour day. Hey, Kev.
Well, that just means you got to get more dogs.
But hold on, Rich and Kev. You know this, and Frank and Albie. We all know this. When they gave us Condor just to go out there and arrest everybody else, it was a ploy. Giuliani did not to pay us overtime, but he gave us Condor, so make your money, right? And everybody went crazy. So why can't you want to put people like transit back in the days, Kevin, when we used to work 2-8, we had to go to court, and if one time you might want to take the train, transit officers, they're standing there in plain clothes. They had a plain clothes detail. You hop the train at 45th. You can write tickets and summons. My thing is pay the people overtime money and make sure there's people in stations. What about, when's the last time you seen a cop on train? Years. I don't even know if cops know how to ride the train anymore. I have not seen a cop on a train. I mean, I haven't rode the train, haven't ridden the train.
How would you see one?
Yeah, but I don't even see them in the station. I see transit cops walking Broadway. You know what I'm saying? Yo, like, come on, man.
Maybe we should talk about privatizing the security for the MTA.
It's not gonna.
Well, transit used to be separate.
A proven thing that has worked, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, you got like postal police. You have court officers. You got to have some privatization of transit to a degree. That transit is investing in its own safety, not just relying solely on NYPD.
They have MTA police. They have their own, but it doesn't matter. See,
but they're just the guys that make sure the money gets out the booth and gets to the bank. I'm talking about the security of the people.
We stopped arresting and prosecuting people for jumping turnstiles, and that was proven to work. Thugs don't pay the toll. They don't pay it. The problem we did was we got too aggressive. Right? And I've seen this. I've seen cops. We were robots where, you know, Rich, you have your monthly pass and you hit your monthly pass. It didn't work. So then you slid through and the cop arrested you. And you show me monthly pass and they're like, I don't care. You slid through. You're not allowed. Click, you know, 5 hours overtime. Thanks, Rich. And they bring you upstairs. That was the effed up part. And that's why.
But you saw cops arresting kids going to school that didn't have a train pass.
Oh, yeah.
But he had a bus pass, but he wanted to ride the train with his friends, but he'd get arrested and shit.
You know
what I'm saying?
We lost common sense. We had robots, you know, and it was just money. Like, well, we have to make numbers. Correct. But you have to lock up people who are jumping the turnstile. You can't You can't let them go. Somebody put in there, you have to have jump proof ones. You got to have some jump proof ones. And then you mix it up, Rich. You put dogs at some.
If they did that shit, I'd be doing a life sentence. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be doing a fucking life sentence right now all the time.
But you didn't have to.
Back in the day.
You shouldn't.
And I wasn't committing no crime. I was going to see some girls. Kev, going to the parties.
He's like, I ain't paying. This my
trying to get to the party.
Shit, right. Exactly.
We were ruthless with everybody went through the system, but they didn't. You can give them a ticket. You got to stop them, give them the ticket. It gives you a right to talk them. Some occasions it gives you a right to search the person. You're going to pull weapons. It worked 100%. They got weapons out of the subway. And then you mix in stations where you do throw metal detectors, you do throw dogs, and you change them around. You got to have people, on their toes.
Yeah. Let me just read some comments, Kevin Rich. Albie said we need cameras everywhere. I'm a believer. They got them anyway, but they only work when they want to work. Deborah says, she said the cops are back on the trains. I have observed them be buried in their cell phones, shaking my head. What's up, Pete? Albie said, yeah, he said, Bill, he said, you've been in that red Corvette. Yeah, man. Albie, let there be another 2 more days like today. That shit'll be, you'll see me. I'll see you in our location where we was walking with our wives. How about that? Stefania said, I've seen cops on the train, but not often. Kevin Graves said, well, we do have the Patriot Act. Big Brother is always watching. Lynn said, it's time to put some of the technology to work other countries does it. The other countries do it. And the metro system works fine. Why can't we do it here? Good point. Mark said, I wonder how this will affect tourism. Listen, I don't want to be in damn New York, so I know the tourists don't want to be in there. But he said, being that it was not far from the Barclays, do you think this frightened off those folks who aren't really from the city? I don't know. They was in that game last night, but they went to that game. Lastly, what's put in movies will eventually become a way of life. Escape from New York may come to be. I pray not. Absolutely, man. Everybody shout out to all you Princetta. You made me mess your name up, and I had it right now. I had it right. Princetta. Shout out to her watching it. Everybody, shout out to everybody that's watching. This is Real Talk Chronicles, and this is what we do. We talk real. We always say, anybody you want to join, you're always welcome to join. Just let us know. You're always welcome to come in and converse with us and chop it up. This is what we talk about all the time. Kev, we can stay on this or we can go to something else. Listen, I sent you a clip of a cop. I think no, did I send you the clip? I don't know. I'm gonna send it to you right now. How about that? Where did I have this at? I'm gonna
email it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna email it to you right now. Fellas, finish up that while I take care of this for Kevin and send him this thing real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website. I always go to heavy.com to get a good breakdown when there's a big incident like this, because they do a nice job of putting things together. So they mentioned on his YouTube, he had a video out called Stop When Complete from Philadelphia, which is an interesting thing since that's where he rented the U-Haul. The first stop of his leg was complete. He describes it as the first leg of his trip. This is way premeditated. He is crazy. I got no doubt he's crazy, but crazy doesn't go free, ever. But I've said this 100 times. I think everybody who kills somebody is crazy. I think you got something wrong with you. You could just go up to another human being, and shoot him and kill him. But I don't take that as an excuse, unless it's a parent and something just happened to their kid.
It's not allowing me to send it to you.
You know what? I'm gonna go back to something that one of the people that chimed in said about the police in the train station being on their cell phones, and that's not even just in the subway, man. That's in the street. Guys on their posts, their heads are buried in their cell phones. In the cars, I see it all the time, and it's a hard pill to swallow for me when you're tasked to police a community with your head buried in your cell phone. I mean, everybody does it. you know. But at some point, when you're at work, you got to put that shit away. Like I couldn't put my cell phone out at my job. When I was on the job working in the schools, I couldn't have my cell phone out buried in my cell phone. I would have to go in my office if I needed to use my cell phone. But I couldn't be out amongst the students, patrolling the hallways, trying to get kids in their classrooms and stuff like that, dealing with certain situations. I couldn't have my cell phone out. So,
well, you technically right, Rich. If you work in a school or stuff like that, you can't. You're not supposed to have your cell phone.
But I mean, as a police officer, and you tasked to police the subway or a corner, how do you stand there with your facing your cell phone?
Well, when Kevin and I were officers, you couldn't have your cell phone. Well, I don't even know if we damn near had one back then. We had a beeper or some shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was beepers back then.
Yeah, like you couldn't use a cell phone, and damn near, yo, man.
But if I'm a cop on a beat, because I know now officers have business cards they give out to the community, so if they see something, say something, you can call the especially with the housing police. You know, they give out their business cards, and you can call that officer if there's something you want to talk to them about. So if I'm a cop on my beat and you saying, hey, give out your business card so you can get on the phone, somebody calls you. Getting a phone call is one thing, but having your face buried in the phone, looking at social media, you know, or playing a chess game or whatever that other game they have that they play on their cell phones, that's crazy.
Agreed, but how do you know that's what they were doing?
Well, somebody needs to have oversight over that.
Yeah. If it's my department phone, the department knows, right?
Okay. But that's my point. I don't know if it's a department phone. And if it is a department phone, it shouldn't be a phone where you can download a game and play it.
They won't. It's not allowed on it.
Not so much allowed. You can't do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can't just download it.
The phone doesn't allow you to do it, is what I mean.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't.
But I know that I've seen them playing games.
Look, the cop could have been 100% playing a game. Could have been texting his girlfriend. Could have been checking in on his kids, and he could have been filling out the accident report from earlier.
Yeah, listen. I seen a cop on his cell phone, and then pull a guy over for being on his phone.
Yo, let me tell you something. Yo, Albie, I was leaving the barn. Yo, the shit was crazy. Yonkers PD. He's on his phone, right? Like this. He's driving. He sees me on my phone, and he's like, "Oh no!" He puts his phone down and come and get me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I was like, "You're doing the same thing." Are you kidding me?
Yo, Kevin,
did you ask for his license and registration when he pulled you over?
I wanted to slap the shit out this cat. Yo, I swear I did. I mean. Anyway, listen, let me just read. Samantha said, some beat cops have given me their cell phone number while on duty. Are they trying to talk to you, girl? What's up, Mom? You know what I'm saying? Pete said, that's the part of the issue. Crazy is walking the streets. We stopped funding mentally facilities probably before I was born. We don't talk about mental enough still. I mean, Tracy said on 125th Street Methadone Station, all the cops are on their cell phones. They all stand in the areas they have blocked off for them. Meanwhile, passengers are used upstairs being harassed by people begging. The only time cops move in is when they go get something to eat at the trucks. It's disgusting. Colin, they drive around on their phones all the time. And why they don't wear seatbelts? Well, they used to give, inspections used to bang them. They tried to bang them for without seatbelts. I don't know what's going on. Kev, we got any videos? I know we left off last week with some stuff we were going to talk about. I don't know what we have. I can't send that to you.
How come y'all guys still ducking, not showing some clips from that Netflix documentary, 137 shots, man?
This is what we're going to do. Everybody, I've seen it. Huh?
Get the clips, Rich.
You're the clip guy, Kevin.
No. I play.
I don't want to take your job.
I play what Bill sends me.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's Bill's fault.
Yeah. So you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna send the 127 shots. It's on Netflix.
137.
137. I apologize. 137. And we're gonna talk about it next week. We're gonna show it because it is something to see. It is. It really is. But Rich, you know what? To show some clips from it, it probably wouldn't do its justice because the bottom line is we need to see the whole video. You know what I'm trying to say? But we're going to talk about it though.
Yeah, but there's a clip of it where it's not so much showing the actual shooting because I don't think they show that. But when they go to court and they talk about the diagram where they have the cops, how they pulled up on the car and how they're stationed and shooting and cross-firing and all that. And then the cop that jumps on the hood and empties 2 clips in the windshield.
Yeah. I saw it. My man, you and my man Kenny Harris. Shout out to Kenny Harris. He put me up on it, and I'll scroll back and see if I can find it. What he sent me, and then he told me to see it just like you mentioned it. Rich, he asked you a question.
What did he say?
He said, "What's it called?"
It's either 137 or 136 shots.
Yeah, and guys,
37 was too much. 36 would have been fine.
Stefania asked the question, did you see the video of the cop that chased the man and shot him when he sat on him? I didn't see that. I don't know. Stefania, you sent me information. You didn't send me that. Were you slipping? That you at the gym? You were supposed to send me that kind of information. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. The show is sponsored by Daily Arts Magazine. It's sponsored by Melba Wilson.
It's 137.
It's 137. Yeah. You got it, Rich? I mean, Kev?
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's a video of the actual shooting now.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, man. Woo. Yo, everybody, please be careful. As we see, there's some kind of other variant out. I mean, like I said, I'm doing a brunch party this Saturday. So, come by. Stay outside if you have to and shit. Tracy said it's 137 shots. Yeah. It's a deep thing. It's definitely a deep thing. I want to show y'all this video. I can't get it. I'm gonna have to find a way. I'm gonna have to call my techie Malika. She's hanging out with the girls. But
yeah, I got a couple of ones.
Yeah, there was this video that this off-duty MOS is in Rockland County. I want to show this shit so bad. It would be so tacky to show it this way. You know what I'm saying? And him and this guy get into a road rage situation. 2 white guys. So, they get out the car. What's wrong with you, Dick, John, Harry, whatever? And the dude was like, "Yo, I'll kick your ass." And the other guy's like, "Yeah, kick my ass." So the guy was like, "I'll stick this knife in your ass." So he pulls out the knife. So then the cop pulls out his gun. So the guy was like, "Oh shit." So he backs up, throws the knife. So the guy was like, "NYPD, don't move." So he tells his wife to call the cops. So then he's like, "Sheriff, Ma." Yo, so they come out the house, right? Yo, they get in front of Mom is like, yo, she got in front of the dude, like, yo, you're not gonna shoot him. And then they said, yo, he sits there and he tells the guy, like, go back, come back here. The guy runs in the house. So he's like, come back here. So Mom's like, yo, what did he do? Mom and the girlfriend are like, what did he do? He was like, he pulled a knife out of me. So they said, well, what did you do to cause him to pull a knife out and shit, right? He was like, nothing. He's talking about I was speeding. Listen, I got to get you this video, yo. Kev,
you didn't ask him if he had a criminal record?
No, Rich, it was bonkers. And the dude was like, yo, I'm an NYPD officer. Yeah, exactly. He didn't answer none of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
So the guy ran in the house.
Deborah said, yeah, he ran in the house.
Did he come out with something?
Nah, he went in the house and stayed there. He locked the door. He locked his family out.
They didn't go in there and get him?
No, the dude was in plain clothes. He was going home, and the mother, yo,
that's the guy with the knife.
Yo, the guy with the knife. Yo, listen,
it's the same knife the girl had in her apartment when she slammed the door on the cop and they came back with the riot squad.
Everybody, excuse me, I'm gonna do some tacky shit right now. I want you to see this shit. You guys got to see this. Man.
I thought Kevin said he had it.
No,
that's something else. I'm
gonna show what Kevin has, but I want y'all to see this buffoonery right here. Hold on, where is it? Let's see. I got it. Okay, let me see if I can play this shit. Let's see.
Stop sign! There's fucking kids around here. You can't place through the fucking stop sign, jerk off.
Right there.
You didn't fucking stop. Wait, for the stop sign. No, I'm not the fucking police. I'm telling you, fucking stop that stop sign. There's kids around here. Motherfucker, guy. I'm minding my business. I'm you call 911? Get on the fucking ground! Call 911. Get on the fucking ground! Get on the fucking ground now! Put your hands on your head, you fucker! Who the fuck do you think you are? I'm telling you, there's kids around here, motherfucker! You don't pull a fucking this fucking... You were coming at me! Put your hands on your fucking head! Myself. I'm protecting myself! Put your fucking hands on your head! Hey, Mom! I'm protecting myself! You were coming at me!
I'm throwing the flag on that. What was mommy?
You don't live here. You don't fucking live here. I live right fucking here. You don't fucking live here. You don't fucking live here. Motherfucker.
Oh.
Fucking car. Get your hands on your fucking head. Step back. Get your hands on your fucking head. You said you pulled that on me. Step back, man. Step back. Step back. Shit. Step back. Step back. Shoot me. Step back. No. He pulled a fucking knife on me. Why? He pulled a knife on me. Because he's psycho and having a fucking... I want to see your badge. Right fucking here. No. Call 911. Tell them my husband's a cop, please. Hold on. Tell them to hurry. I'm the NYPD. I fucking live here. You're not in New Jersey. This is not New Jersey. Let's fucking try this in Rockland County. Step back. Step back. Step back away from me. Step back away from me. Step back away from me right now. He starts fucking having a road rage incident with me.
What happened where? Tell me.
Right here at the stop sign.
Oh, outside there?
Starts cursing and screaming at me.
Wait, what happened? Okay.
So I turned around and I asked him what his problem was. And he comes in here like a psycho.
You know, we have had a lot of deaths and having a very bad
He pulls a knife on me.
Like,
Tell me to get the knife.
Harry's knife.
He pulled out. Thank you.
What does that mean? Were you threatening him with a gun?
He pulled the knife on and I pointed the gun at him after he pulled the knife on me.
Can I ask you a question? What's going to kill you faster, a knife or a gun?
A knife.
Go ahead, honey.
Nice
Go
fucking
ahead.
try.
Jill.
A knife. Nice fucking try. Have a nice day.
Stop filming me. Everything has been filmed. So. Say it again. What'd you say, honey? Everything's been filmed? All right, well, stop filming me in particular.
Well, that's white on white crime. No, yo, I listen. What do I tell you with that, yo? What do you think about that shit, yo?
You're not asking me, right?
Yeah.
Let's ask Kev first.
Okay, Kev. Yeah, that shit.
This is why road rage things are just bad news.
Yeah, man, it's true.
You know, it's just no. We get pissed off. We jump out of our car. We scream at each other, and where is it going to go? And are you know, is it worth? What if that guy took one step forward with that knife? He had shot him, right? Was it worth it?
Yo, let me
What
tell
if
you
he
something.
just did what he did and closed the door, right? Like the girl did. She closed her door, and they went and got the riot squad and went back to her house and shot her to death.
Yo, Money felt like arguing with the fucking moms. Yo, did y'all hear what the white man called that other white man? He called him the N-word.
Yeah.
He said,
I didn't know if you heard that.
yeah. I said, oh shit.
You sure did. Because that's what I was getting ready to say. I thought you said it was two white guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But yo, he had to call him a nigga to pull the knife out on him.
Yo.
Because niggas aren't human. So he said, nigga, and pulled the knife out.
Yo.
What happened, Kev?
I'm throwing the flag, man, Rich. I'm throwing it.
Yo, but what was gangster was he was like, yo, Ma, he pulled a knife out on me. Yo, hilarious.
Hey, listen,
Yo.
you can probably show a million videos like that of white
That
guys
should have been
getting away with
Jerry's
shit
mom.
that a black man would never get away with.
Yo, he might have got a cap popped in his ass.
He would have got a cap popped as soon as he pulled that knife out. He was bop, 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 bop. And Kevin would have been saying, hey, it was justified.
Oh, shit.
So
Remember the other guy you showed how he was wrestling? He was actually fighting the cop.
Oh, you talking about Jerry? You talking about
Jerry beat their ass and then took their car.
Yeah.
Yo, Kevin.
That's what I thought. His parents were going to be Jerry and his wife.
Yo,
you will never find a video like that involving a black man.
Yeah. Yo, Kev, before we get off, just to make people laugh, before we get out of here, let's show Jerry again. Before we get out of here.
I'll have to look for it. It's going to take me a few moments. Let's do this. I have it.
All right, show Jerry. End it off with Jerry.
Yeah. Let's end it off with Jerry.
Stay in the car.
Nelson and Griggs. Running northbound, additional units Nelson and Griggs.
Stay in the car. Get in the car. Dude, I'm stopping you. Do you have a license? Do you have a license? I'm stopping you. Do you have a license? Do you have a driver's license? Do you speak English?
Yes.
Can I see your license?
What do you want?
The plate doesn't belong in this car. Do you have a license or no? Do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
Where is it at? Get it for me. The plate does not belong in this car.
Right there.
No. Stop. Put your hands up. Stop. 1950. Yeah, we're on it. Stop! Get your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back!
Now you say he's good, but man, yo, what's up, man?
Oh, look at this shit here.
Stop resisting!
No, you good, not resisting nothing, bro. Okay, why you gotta do all that, bro? He good, man.
That was the sound of a taser discharging.
Yeah, I heard that. He got him a couple of times.
To see the fatal gunshot in 10 seconds.
Get back!
Now, did he grab his gun? Why did he shoot him?
Yeah, he took his taser. But I don't know if he...
Hey guys, we giving out samples today. Just fill out our quick 2-minute survey and ship it right to your door.
Yeah. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Force, and my co-host, Kevin Branzetti and Chuck Richards. Listen, first I got to shout out to my man, Irving Panton. Irving, if I pronounce your last name properly, if I didn't, correct me. He's a phenomenal photographer. He's been doing photography for years. He was responsible for having an exhibit in Port Authority of Red Alert. I got to meet him. That's my dude right now. He is phenomenal. So I just wanted to give him a shout out. Irving, when you have stuff, please let me know so I can post it. Or if you're doing any more exhibits and stuff like that, much props to you, brother. Hope you and the wife can come by Saturday and hang out with me. What's up, Ray? How are you, Ray Matthews? My sister's in the building. So, this is another one, Kev? Or it's the same one?
No, I'm just. I got this is the one. It's the same thing. Stefani sent the video. I'm just looking to see if there's any different. If it showed more.
So
the guy got killed.
Oh yeah.
So this cop didn't have a partner. He was highway patrol or something. What?
Most police departments are single person.
Oh, okay.
New York is the rare one.
All right. Well, who did he think he was? Jerry or something? That he could get away with that shit?
Well, first and foremost,
you can't resist the police being black. You can only do that if you're white. That's real talk.
Where's my 2G switch?
Yeah,
That's
right.
Real talk. I mean, how many videos have you shown when that kind of situation happens to a white guy and he gets away? You ain't gonna show one with a black man and he gets away with that shit.
Look how Kevin's looking at you, bro.
I mean,
my friend Rich, it absolutely exists. There are lots of black men who were in jail because they didn't get shot.
That's not what I said. I said that you're not going to see a black man do like that and get away with it without getting a bullet.
Do like what? Like
with his ass beat down. You just showed a video of a white guy pulling a knife out on the white guy, and the guy with the knife called the other white guy nigga. His mother comes out, aunt comes out, sets him free, takes him in the house.
True.
Guy puts his gun away and leaves. Then you got Jerry, who gets pulled over. 2 cops try to detain him. He beats both of their asses so bad that he takes their car and drives off. And they done bust a shot at his ass.
Yeah.
What black guy in America could get away with that shit? Show me the footage, please.
Yeah. I'll stay quiet. I'll let y'all have that one. I'll just be quiet on this one. You know what I'm saying?
So you think every time a black man interacts with a cop like that, he's just shot and killed?
That's not what I said. I changed what I said. I said, show me the footage where a black man gets away with that kind of resistance without getting a bullet in his ass or beat the shit out of him.
All right. We'll have to look up something. I don't think there's going to be many out there because they're not put on the news.
I don't think you're going to find one.
Because they're not put on the news. They're not.
They don't exist, Kevin.
Stop it. That's
prove me wrong. You're the guy to prove me wrong. You proved me wrong before.
I know.
So don't just say that.
Because you're asking me to find something of a non-incident. You see, Rich, you're asking for a non-incident. The news isn't going to put that video on the news. So how would I find it? It's a non-news story.
Oh, so they don't put the good stuff on. They only put the bad stuff on.
Have you seen the news?
Shit, they just showed Jerry. And this fucking guy.
Yo, listen, let's
we can do a day where we just do unarmed white guys getting shot by cops.
Nah, you know what? We talked about this.
You want to do an episode with that?
We talked about this before when I said
I'll pull up the 2021
on the footage. How when you show these incidents of black people getting shot unjustly, to give some equality and show me some white people getting shot at.
Yeah. We can make that all next Wednesday show.
But we talked about this before. I
gave you the website where it is, my friend.
Huh?
The stats are there. I gave it to you. I gave you the website where it is. You can look up any one of the videos.
Oh, I got to go look it up. I thought you the guy.
You want me to do it? I gave it to you. I handed you the proof that it's there.
No, but we got to show it to the people.
More white.
You're the guy that shows it to the people.
By the cops every year.
This is a show, Kevin. Kev. You're a producer.
Yo, Kev, Ray Matthews said, show us, Kevin. Show us.
Yeah, again.
Why you passing the buck, Kevin?
I'm not passing the buck.
You're telling me to show it. You're the video guy. What?
Rich, what's your job?
Wally, listen, Wally. Wally,
Everybody,
Get in contact with
Real
the
Talk
bees.
Chronicles. We get on each other. We chop it up, yo. Listen, we chop it up. We get it on. We get it on, everybody.
Oh man,
yo,
hey Kev, man.
Kev, if you want to get Jerry, show him what Jerry was. Show him exactly what Rich. Did you get Jerry yet?
He ain't gonna show it.
Yeah,
that's proving my point. That's gonna prove my point.
Yeah.
How's that gonna prove your point?
Well, show Jerry and let
yo,
decide.
Kurt, people saying Kurt, my man Curtis Ali said the pressure is on Kevin now.
There's no pressure.
You don't have to leave, Kev. You don't have to leave early tonight, right?
No. Oh my God! Listen, everybody. Real Talk is sponsored by Melba Wilson's restaurant. It's sponsored by Leon Ellis Chocolate. It's sponsored by Harlem Underground. Support those businesses. It's also sponsored by Reggie Wells Quality Sound. If you want one, speakers, he sells them for $85, but you can get it for $75. Mention I'm about to say 4-star. Excuse me. If you mention Real Talk Chronicles. I'm mixing things up. You guys got me laughing and stuff. Wait, Rich and Kevin go back and forth. Listen, everybody, this is what we do. We put, no one is exempt from being put on the carpet, right?
Hey, listen, man. I don't want people to make a mistake thinking that I come at Kevin like, Kevin is my guy, man. He's a good guy. He just can't find that fucking footage. That's
yeah. Yo, Rich, he said ain't nothing wrong with some little friendly banter, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Facts is facts, though, right? And everybody who hasn't seen Real Talk Chronicles, Kevin's nickname is called Stats. So that's why everybody's putting the onus on Kevin. His nickname is called Stats. What's up, Lou? How are you, brother? Kev, what you going to show us now? Is it?
Well, this is something you sent me in Facebook a week or so ago. I don't even know what it is.
Okay, let's see what it is.
I don't know. Herbert Gilbert?
Let's see. I don't know what it is. I don't remember. I'm getting older now.
Why is this doing this? Hang on.
And everybody, our whole onus for showing
catch up.
Yeah, everybody, what we're doing, we're just showing reasons for things like this.
Oh, wait.
Y'all like to scare me.
I think this must be one where I think the cops might have justification. I'm not sure about this. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to say this for the record. I'm sure Kevin can contest to this. I don't know too many people we've chased. I mean, we've chased some badasses, but I don't think Kevin and I would have been wrecking any police cars. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different chase we have, but our chases were all foot.
Yeah.
We worked in such a tiny little area. We didn't do car.
Yeah, I mean, but then we broadened our horizons and went on in organized crime. We really didn't have kind of chases like this either. I mean, there's a lot of these chases, even though you can see things like this happening in the city. You hear cars running away and stuff like that, but you really don't see pursuit. A lot of times, NYPD frowns against pursuit because the liability of a civilian getting hurt. They don't want to be cause for that. What's up, SJ? My man, I see you in the building. but I don't know what was the reasoning. We might have to play this from the beginning. I know, like this, they opened fired on this guy. I don't know if they heard he had a weapon or not.
They did.
He did?
No, I'm asking you. I didn't see it in the footage.
Oh yeah, I don't think so. But it's obviously they opened fire on him. Listen,
I was just, the footage had me confused because I'm like, the cop walks in the house, and then he walks out of the house, and then a cop car is approaching a car. Then they're blocking the car. He runs over to the car, but I never saw the guy in the house. Leave. What happened?
Yeah,
I think he ran out because they found him in the car. But I'm looking for a news report that gives some information on it.
Yeah.
It's from 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
I don't know where I saw that at. Kevin, you can go to another one. I mean, we can come back to this if we find more information on this. Let me get you out of this. What else did I send you? I know, like that time we laughed about it last week that I bombarded you with a bunch of stuff. So, hey Bridget, what's going on, sis? Stefania said, Kevin, play my video. It's better.
It's the same video.
Stefania, he said.
I don't think there was any. There's just more news with that one. I don't think it was more. Oh, I gotta go. I'm supposed to find Jerry. How did I find him last time?
I don't know how you found Jerry. Anybody help Kevin find Jerry, because I want to close out with Jerry. So I want him to find Jerry. We don't have to force anything. This is Real Talk Chronicles. We don't have to force anything. The bottom line is, please watch us, subscribe to us, share us, because this is the only show that's going to keep it real right now. We're going to talk about anything and that's happening out here. We're going to dissect and Monday morning quarterback it, because Kevin and I have been in law enforcement, and Rich is a community liaison to a lot of things, has seen a lot of stuff, and he still works with
liaison, community pain in the ass. Oh, I thought my thing was on mute.
I'm the voice of the people, man. I'm the voice of the people. All right?
Exactly.
People want to know, man. What's going on? How come Jerry can get away with some shit?
and you can't, right? Exactly.
All right. I found Jerry.
Oh, my God. Oh, Stefani, what is this? Ohio officer fired for detaining daughter's boyfriend he didn't like. Well, make shit up. And we got video. Wow. Did you Stefani, send that to Kevin?
I'm not playing that one.
Okay. You don't want to play that one?
I got daughters.
Oh, shit.
He's a little extra. Protect his kids. I don't know. I have to see what it is.
Come on, let's see Jerry, man.
All right, everybody. This is Jerry.
Jerry. For those who don't know Jerry.
Now you're about to see Jerry in his finest. This is what Rich was talking
Life's
about.
never the same after you meet Jerry.
No, it ain't. I want to hear that volume.
Do what they say. Jerry, say. Jerry, do what they say. Jerry. 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 You're gonna get hurt, Jerry, if you don't stop. You're gonna get a charge, Jerry. Stop it. Stop, Jerry.
Well, I'm glad we got the video that covers his butt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Jerry really showed his ass.
Hey, you're gonna get in trouble.
Look, Jerry got the baton.
Hey,
He's beating the cop.
you. Hey. Jerry, don't do it.
That shit is hilarious.
Bye, Jerry.
Okay, for those that don't know, Jerry got in the cop car and drove off.
Well, that was obvious at that point.
Yeah.
I kept seeing brand all over TikTok. It's called Kiss It.
Jerry beat them with their own club, gets in their car and drives off, and they don't bust a shot.
Well, when he took the asp and swung it at her, they could have shot him. Right? Like,
but they didn't.
But that is classic of neither one of those cops had good hand skills. Right? Those punches were weak. Like there was no, they were like, you know?
I want to see a black man get away with some shit like that. You got any of that footage, Kevin?
Bill's busy right now.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Can you show me some equality, Kevin? Show me some footage like that.
Shit.
Of a brother getting away on some shit like that. Taking the cops club, beating them with it, then jumping in the car and driving into the sunset.
Yeah. Probably not many videos of that.
They would have shot.
There's also not many other videos of a white guy doing it either. Like
Jerry and his mother would have got
Jerry's
shot.
the miracle guy. Like you think like
ain't no miracle about that.
You think there's like 50 Jerrys out there who've done that?
Well, shit, you just showed 2 miracles in one night.
Well, I showed one.
The first one, when the guy pulls a knife out and gets away with that.
I didn't show that. Bill did, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, listen, everybody. To be determined, right? I think a lot of us feel that we don't get the longitude and latitude that our Caucasian brothers and sisters get. So, we got to change that.
That's our imagination, Bill. Come on, you know that shit.
All right, well, listen.
Yo, Curtis said you're on to something, Rich.
All right.
Yeah. So, Kevin, you got one more video before we get out of here?
Yeah, I gotta. So, just stats for this year, and I'm going to give you the video.
All right.
Stats of the video?
Stats, then the video. The Washington Post keeps the stats on police-involved shootings. I've chosen.
Rich, you got under Kevin's stats skin. He ain't going
out like that. You started with me. Now we're going to go. So I chose two just for this year, 2022. White unarmed. There's one. Only one. Black, there's 0 unarmed this year. Hispanic, 0. Others, 0. But I'm going to show you the one from 2022 of the white guy. Never seen it. It's this guy. I don't know who he is, but we'll look at it. There's only one for this year. We could go last year. There are 8 unarmed. White, 0 black. Now I'm a little shocked by that stat.
Yeah, because they must have showed us all 8 made the news for black people. Because
remember that one you showed us with the white guy that got shot, but he was covered in mud? He looked like he was.
Oh, there's 6 black. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did something wrong with the year, so I got to change that. I might have missed one from this year. All right. It's 1 and 1. 5 unknown. I don't know what 5 unknown is, but we'll go to the white guy. We'll see what it is.
Well, how many white people are there in America, and how many black people are there? Statistically, does that even out somehow?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but we can play with statistics all day with that kind of stuff.
You're a stats guy.
I am.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
The one dead white guy unarmed. Let's see.
Well, he got tats all over his neck, man.
Better up.
hit a home run during Mawa Honda's opening like 99% Honda HRV pilot, and current lessees get an extra $500 lease loyalty bonus. Plus, we have low APR and certified pre-owned Hondas. Great selection to choose. Mawa Honda is the winner of the 2021 President Honda's highest honor for customer satisfaction. Opening day deals.
Least I could do is shut the volume, right? Commercial lasts a little. Yeah.
Y'all showing free commercials, man?
Word.
Hey, look, this is what happens when you do stuff live, right?
Yeah.
Big news tonight in Jefferson Parish. The sheriff arrests 2 of his own deputies for shooting this man in Marrero.
Well, that man's family and civil rights attorneys raised questions about the shooting. Tonight, the sheriff says that while the deputies believed that their life was in danger, he couldn't stand behind their actions.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel was at that news conference tonight. And Mike, this is a lot of new information that you
Yeah, it came at once, and we got here pretty quickly when the sheriff called this news conference. Of course, the big takeaway from this is 2 Jefferson Parish deputies have now been arrested in the shooting death of Daniel Valley, which happened last week in Marrero. 29-year-old Isaac Hughes and 35-year-old Jonathan Lewis turned themselves in to police today and were being booked on those charges within the last hour. This all happened early last Wednesday morning. Sheriff Joe Lapinto says deputies were called to a known drug house on 500 block of Wilson Street for a noise complaint. When they got there, deputies found 34-year-old Daniel Valley inside an SUV. Lapinto says officers tried for more than 12 minutes to get Valley to get out and comply, but he wouldn't. Lapinto says officers were even begging him at one point to get out, and then at one point, Lapinto says Valley started the engine and even raised his hands. It's when he put his hands down that Valley apparently hit the horn on the SUV. And at that point, Lapinto says the reaction was one of the deputies opening fire, followed by the second deputy, both of them firing multiple times. Surveillance video obtained by Eyewitness News shows the moment those shots were fired, busting the windows out of Valley's white SUV. Lapinto says while not armed except for with that SUV, Valley unfortunately put his deputies in a highly stressful situation, and while the use of force would have been warranted, deadly force was not.
Their perception was that their life was in danger at that point in time. Unfortunately, the use of force in this situation was not justified. As much as I would love to be able to defend them, I don't believe there was any criminal intent at this point in time.
Valley was also wanted for questioning plaque and search for the theft of some four-wheelers, and was also a person of interest in a drug overdose case out of Gretna. And at this point, the sheriff says toxicology did show some type of drug in Valley's system, but of course that full report has not been released. Ladies?
Mike, I know that the body camera video is a question that a lot of us had. We wanted to see if that video was going to be released. Did that body camera video from deputies play a role in these arrests?
Yeah, so essentially it did. So JPSO just recently started wearing those body cameras, and the sheriff says the video seen on those cameras actually backs up the statement from these officers, because all of the officers have given statements on this, all of the responding officers out there, not just the 2 arrested, and it really backs up what they were saying. And the sheriff says that these officers have been very cooperative. Of course, now that this is a criminal investigation, the video from those cameras will not be released right away. Ladies?
All right, Frank, that's a big question.
Hoping they had the body cam on it, but
yeah. No, about to. Yep. So, well,
when it's that simple, Rich, just go to the site and pull one up after the other.
Kevin, you really didn't show shit there.
I can't.
You saw the park car and some.
I can't make them give us more out of the media. And I'll still go back to nobody cares. That's the problem.
But you know what's so funny? I mean, and that's a big point too. In summation, white man gets shot. It really doesn't make mainstream media. Nobody's heard it. I mean, the chief is like, yo, they weren't justified, but that's not making any news. Why is that? Only us.
What do you mean white man gets shot doesn't make any news?
If a white guy got shot by the cops, it doesn't make news. It's Rich, and the opposite of this is if a black kid goes missing, it doesn't make the news.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's definitely true, because Kevin and I have talked about that. But when we talked about, when I say, a white man getting shot, it doesn't make the news. But the thing is, he's unarmed. Rich, we just heard about this. That's the first time I've heard about it. I don't know if you heard about it, but I mean, I'm not disregarding your point. Trust me. Do I feel that we get the longitude and latitude of white people? Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. Listen, how many times we get a gun drawn on us in a minute? Also too, talking about that, Amir Locke, those officers weren't found guilty in that case too. Just to put a side note.
We talked, I think, about that last week.
Yeah. So
okay, but I'm not saying white people don't get shot by police, but to say that there's some kind of equality there in these mistaken shootings. Now, this guy, I mean, the footage didn't really show what the officers were facing.
Right.
It didn't show that, so I really can't even speak.
We can't really comment on that because
yeah. But that shit with Jerry, if I compare that, or even the other guy that Bill showed that pulled the knife out, if I could compare that to the woman who was in her apartment being served
but you can't compare
10-day notice. I mean,
there are millions and millions of interactions. You just can't pick three and say, I'm going to compare these three and they're unjust and unfair. That's not,
No, I'm not just picking three. I'm picking one out of thousands.
Yeah, exactly. You're cherry pick the one you want to make your point. I agree with you. There is a disparity, and I'll never say there isn't.
That the audience has seen that I'm trying to show some parity to. I'm not throwing every one that's happened. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just going by the footage that's been shown on this show, to compare. That's why I keep asking you to give me more that we can see your point. But
I can only give you the stats. I can't give you the videos because I can't make what the news reports. I can show you that it's there. I can show you that more unarmed white guys get shot every year than black guys. And yes, statistically, it shouldn't be that way. And I'm not telling you that it's equal. We're not on equal footing. I'm never going to say we're on equal footing.
Who's the white Al Sharpton out there that can come out and speak to this shit?
He cares, Rich. That's the whole thing. Maybe that the guy with the knife, maybe his mom should be the rep.
I don't know, man. I just seen a level of disrespect towards NYPD in the hands of white people. I mean, you go to every time I seen white people being confronted by the police, they got a whole different mindset of how you guys deal with police than we do. Y'all don't give a fuck. You will spit in his face, tell that motherfucker you have his job, and he believes it because your dad might be the DA.
Listen, I think every cop has heard a white person. Sometimes you got to look at them a little different with a white person. And I know cops, they'll say they're liberals, but I think it's just a white person. What's up? And they'll say, I'm the taxpayer. I'm your taxpayer. I'm paying your taxes. I pay your job. You work for me and all that shit. And cops hate that. They despise that kind of verbiage. And let me tell you something, Rich, you are right, because the bottom line is there have been white people that have said that to officers, black and white, and never got arrested. And let me tell you something. A black person will be like, yo, why you questioning me or why you asking me shit? And motherfucker be like, yo, I'll take you in and you'll answer me at the precinct.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, here we go with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
But we live in a country, man, historically where black people have been dealt a really fucked up hand when it comes to justice being served on acts of violence to us. I mean, you talking about a country where a black man could get lynched and people bring their family out to see that shit happen, and then take a picture of it and make a postcard of it and sell it.
Yeah,
around the country.
I'm sitting here and I'm going through the last 5, 6, 7, 8 unarmed white guys getting shot. There's no video. There's not, because because there's no
There's a reason for that, Kevin.
There's no Al Sharpton. There's no ACLU screaming to get it. There's nobody screaming to get it.
But there's
nobody forcing. That's the reason. Nobody's forcing them to release it.
No, but there's more. It's just deeper than that. I mean, you look at apartheid, right, in South Africa. When people think of apartheid, they think of black people being segregated and separated to not be around white people. But the reverse was true too, because you got people that of good conscience that had to rely on the media's version of how black people were living across that border, and then be able to justify the brutality that was being put on them by the government. The government said, "Oh, these black people are animals," and then they show the footage of them being animals. And then the white people of good conscience, even though they didn't agree with that shit, they said, "Oh well, somebody's got to control them," So they would allow white people to go across to the black part of town either, just like they wouldn't let the black people come over here, because they want to spin that narrative, and they need the support of their people to continue that kind of brutality. So when black people get caught doing something, or a person gets shot, the first thing they do is they run his record. Anytime a black person gets shot, they run his record. Did he ever get arrested? What did he do? And that's how they like to have it. So they don't want other white people to know that white people commit crimes. Listen, only black people do that. So.
Oh, you lost me at South Africa.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo, Teresa said white people let the police know if you work for them. She also said it's time to replace the racist bastards. Our young people need to take the exam and out-test and outperform and outsmart the rest of these racist bastards. She said purpose never identified by race unless he is non-white. Teresa, one day I'm gonna get you on the show because you break it down sometimes. You get it in. You like Madam X with it. I appreciate you. What's up, Denise? I see you. What's up, Lewis? How are you all? Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-hosts, Kevin Branzetti and Richard Williams. Chuck is on bereavement, sending our prayers of comfort for him and his family. And this is the show. Listen, we keep it real all the time, every day. Listen, if you ever want to be a part of the podcast, just inbox me, text me when we're on. This conversation that you ever want to join. You got Stats over there. You got Rich. They go at it. They get it in. Listen, we know we've got a problem. It's there's so many different problems coming from all the way. Like you said, it's still unjust on how people of color are being treated by law enforcement. There's still crime. Like I said, Kevin shows a video of a white man, but there's no footage that a white man got shot unarmed, but there's no footage of it. Why is that? A person of color, the first thing a person will say, well, he's a perp and he should have complied. Well, listen, Kevin just showed a video earlier of a black man that I guess didn't comply and he gets shot. Poor tactics by the officer in fighting. I'm a big component of that when I see bad policing when it comes to how to apprehend somebody. I really do, because I think a lot of things can be alleviated. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to get that serious. But first and foremost, the gentleman didn't want to go in, whatever. I mean, you damn near taking all his clothes off. You still can't get him down, and you got to end up shooting him. You tase him, and I always say I don't like the tasers. I really don't, Kev. I don't like them, Rich. I think tasers are a prelude to shooting somebody, because depending on whom you are, do tasers really work? I don't know what the voltage is on the taser, but it's obviously, how many times have we seen people get tased and they're not going down? And then they're wrestling for the gun, because what do we do as human beings? If somebody hits us with something, we reach for the thing that they hit us with. So we try to grab it. So now the person takes the taser from the officer, which doesn't work anymore. And this is the shit that gets me. You take a taser that doesn't work anymore, you have to charge it, you have to do certain things out, like plug them. Correct me, Kev. What do you have to do? You have to power them up or put the plugs back in. Tasers are not like regular guns that keep shooting. So why are you shooting somebody when they take a taser and there's nothing it's not going to tase you? So you're shooting a person for a plastic gun that's empty.
Well, tasers could still stun you. There's still a stun gun after the plug's been gone. As long as I touch you with it, it's the same effect.
Well, if it didn't stop the person that they tased, I'm sure that little voltage, whatever left, that little, it's probably like a razor, a clippers going against somebody's skin. If it didn't stop,
I think we need a show where we tase Bill.
That's all right, as long as I can hit back and shit.
I think the three of us. You ever seen when they do that? They make you hold hands and they put one on each side. All three guys will drop to the floor.
I saw it in Hangover when they tased him and they tased White Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
I saw it in Hangover.
I saw that.
The thing is different, Bill. That these guys are single cops with backup 5, 10, 20 minutes away. That's a different animal. You and I never talk about that.
I get that. I'm not disputing. I'm not disputing the level of.
Don't train them to fight. That guy.
Yeah, but if you're going to try to restrain somebody, that's not something that one person should be doing. You know, that should be done.
Like that's the job. It happens in front of you. You don't call timeout.
No, I'm not saying that. But if you're in a situation where you think that this is going to result in you detaining this person, why can't you just have the person stay right there till you put the call in? Or when you guys pull these guys over, you tell them you put the call in that you pulled somebody over.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean.
So then it's about telling them you need help.
Rich, all three of us working. We're the 3 patrol cars working in a county, because that's how it works. All night long, you're putting over the radio. I'm pulling this one. I'm doing that. Bill and I can't just stop what we're doing every time because Rich has got a car stop, and Rich can't stop every time I got a car stop. Like, just because you put it over, nobody's coming. Nobody's heading towards you. If you put it over, we have a car stop with, and there's going to be an arrest scenario. We're coming. But
that's what I'm talking about.
But we don't know that. They didn't know that initially, right? You don't know that at times it's going to turn into arrest, and it's still minutes away. Okay. Right? It's still, we don't teach hand-to-hand combat. We don't teach how to use your hands, put somebody in an arm bar, drop them to the floor. I'd rather see a lot more separated shoulders and bloody lips. Right? That's what we should be doing. Put a little pain on somebody, fine. It's life. But we don't teach cops that.
Well, what's happening is sometimes the cop gets his ass whipped.
Yeah.
And then pride kicks in, and I got to shoot this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very, very much.
Or they'll size up the situation already and say, I don't think I'll be able to take this guy down. So,
Bill, have you ever seen anybody tased?
Excuse me?
Have you ever seen the taser used? I've had a taser, never used it.
No, I've never seen it done to John and Jane Q. Public. No, absolutely not.
Have you seen those bolos they trying to get out? It's a thing called a bolo. And what it does is it looks like a cell phone. It's like this, and they point it at the person. It's really supposed to be for like situations where you have a person that's mentally disturbed, and you know how somebody's going ranting and raving and get away from me, don't touch me, and you're saying calm down. Well, they point this bolo, and it has a infrared light. And whatever you point it at, once you deploy it, it's like some Spider-Man shit. It shoots out, it wraps around whatever you point it at. So the training is to point it either at the legs or the upper body. And they demonstrated it on Assemblyman, on Senator, what's his name? One of the senators, and he He was the guinea pig for it, and it worked.
Yeah, but again, you're talking about a non-stress scenario. That taser works every single time at training because they always ask for it. We have a couple of volunteers, or at some departments you have to. Every single time everybody drops to the floor, nobody.
Because half the motherfuckers is soft.
Because you don't have adrenaline, you don't have all that thing flowing through you. It's a different thing. They're not. So testing that of me standing there and shooting you with it, and you're standing there willingly, is different than as soon as it starts, you start going nuts, and you come at me. Then what is it? I need to be able to use my hands. NYPD, we could cheat. We could have 10 people there in an instant, and we're just going to overpower you. So we didn't have to have everybody have black belt skills. Most cops are by themselves, and we don't teach them. And as Bill's been preaching, I've been preaching, that is the biggest thing out there. I'm telling you, the shooting numbers would go down. Look at that one we just showed, right? It was a wrestling at the car, into the sidewalk, into the alley, lost the taser, shot. If that cop had skills, Bill, was that guy getting away from you?
Hell no.
He'd be on the floor eating cement.
He'd be sucking up blood. He word up because I definitely would have punched him in his mouth. Because the bottom line is, and things are different. I mean, like I said, I always say, if I was, we were working today, I'd be fine. The way we did things, the way we apprehended, and I never touched anybody, and I'm so proud of this because I've only got one CCRB in my whole career, and I've never touched anybody that didn't fight first. If you didn't throw your hands up first, we didn't have to fight. But the bottom line is, I wasn't going to give you a lot of them verbs and adjectives after that. Don't do this, and we're not wrestling. We're not do-si-doing. We're not doing that, and we're going to swing. And then when it's too late, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this story. We're going to get out of here. I never forget, we go into doing a drug bust, right? Undercover drug, bad spot in the Bronx, right? Lieutenant, now I love working. I love ghosting by myself because whatever I did, and nobody else could get in trouble for. And I didn't have to worry to look over there and see if Kevin and Rich was handling their business. I handled my own business. And real talk, anybody that's worked with me in the Bronx, they co-sign it. I always say a story ain't true unless somebody can co-sign this shit. Excuse me. I say that to say, go in the building. Undercover says, yo, I purchased from tall guy. Boom, boom, boom. He wasn't as tall as you, Rich. Slim guy. Next thing you know, the lieutenant's like, yo, Bill, don't go in there by yourself. So he sends my man in there with me. So the building was like a damn mall full of people in there. People was just buying, slinging all over. So my man goes in the back. He hems people up. I go get the hand to hand, right? So I go to hand to hand. I come in and put my badge out. Yo, police, come on, let's go. Tap him on the shoulder. He's sitting right there next to the man inside the lobby. So he says, yo, get off, right? He swings on me. Get off me. So I come back. I crack him, right? As soon as I crack him, I pull a gun out on the other man. We start tussling. He's trying to get out the building. I realize that I'm trying to hold the other dude back. My man got about 5 guys in the back. Nobody's fighting him. This dude just wants to fight me. I got dude be wrestling. He's trying to get to the door. Listen, I swear, most of the fights I've gotten to shit like this, it's like that little out-of-body experience, that little angel comes on his shoulder and be like, yo, Bill, what the F are you doing? You got skills. Why are you do-si-doing with this dude, right? He gets me almost to the door. Like, he's backing me up because I'm trying to hold this dude. And I said, yo, you're right. Like, I'm talking to that little angel on my shoulder. I'm like, you're right. I'm going to fuck him up, right? So I push him back. Boom, I push him back. So I said, wait a minute. So he stops, right? I said, I know what you want. So he looks. I put my gun away, and I commenced to get my Steven Seagal on, right? Yo, let me tell you something. When the field team finally got there, I was whipping his ass. All you heard was, oh, wow. You thought that motherfucker was singing an opera. Let me tell you something. When the field team came in the building, he said, yo, get this motherfucker off me. He is kicking my ass. Yo, but it was like a movie. The blood was, I was hitting this dude. Bing, bong. Yo, and it got, because I was so mad. And the blood, it got good to me. Yo, blood was splashing. I had on Uptowns Rich. Those are sneakers, Kev. Nike white sneakers. Yeah. I ain't disrespecting your neighborhood card. I ain't know the last time you've been to Champs or Jimmy Jazz or shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Kevin's a Reebok guy.
Yeah. No, he's a New Balance guy. He up in them rocks. I know what he wears.
No, I am.
I know you are. I know what you wear. You need them off terrain sneakers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I just got a box delivered.
Let me tell you something. They had to go buy me a new shirt, all kind of shit. I tore his ass up. But the bottom line is that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. Look, that's your New Balance. Oh, he gonna get him. Let me just read some comments before we get out of here. Yo, everybody, hold on. Like you said, Teresa said, ass whip, LOL, step up your fighting game. Seriously, I believe the watered down requirements result in officers not physically capable of doing their job. Absolutely.
It's our new sponsor, New Balance.
Yeah, the New Balance. Listen, look at him. Yo, Rich, I know his online game is bananas. He just be shopping away and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Called it perfectly.
Yeah, I know you're
that shit goes with your outfit.
Yo, let me read some more comments and then we get out of here. Curtis Allison said, you're under heavy meds and that Taze ain't shit. You're right about that. Because Curtis, you were EMS too, right? Teresa said, mental illness is real. Criminalizing the mentally ill isn't the answer. You at crisis level when it's deployed. Yo, Teresa, you should have been here earlier when we was talking about mental illness stuff like that. So, Teresa, I'm going to ask you a question and maybe save it for next week. Do you feel everybody with mental illness is really mentally ill? And what I mean by that is people like the guy yesterday committing the act in the transit system. He's acting like he's crazy. Do you really think he's crazy? Should he be treated and tried for mental illness? So Teresa also, let's see what else we're saying. My man JT, he said, wait for the backup and be safe. Absolutely. He said, James said, it's not like people before. Now we have plenty of video footage to show the difference. Teresa says, you guys need to get out there and let our youth know that they can change the face of law enforcement. Send the pink people back to the suburbs and let them police their own communities. Absolutely. I feel you with that. She said, white people let the police know, yeah, you work for me. Everybody's Real Talk Chronicles. Colin says, stats, try the New Balance 327s. Colin's got you. He said, which ones are those? Yo, Colin, Kevin go up in them rocks in them hills. He be playing with them goats and shit and that little black doll, that little Karen Black voodoo doll. You know what I'm saying? What number are those? Those are like the 412s or some shit? Look at that.
47.
The 847s. Oh my God. Yo, you be out there running like you the Bionic Man.
And look, I was up in the mountains right before this. So.
And Paula, you're right. How does a mental person get a hold of a gas bomb? You know what I'm saying? Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-host, Kevin Branzetti and Richard Williams. We're getting out of here. Fellas, give us some positive affirmation before we get out of here, man, please. Who wants to go first? Go.
Kevin.
All right. Hey, look, we're showing it here. You can have serious conversation. You can disagree with each other. You can even piss each other off once in a while. We still laugh. No offense, no worries. We still laugh and we learn. It's important. We stop listening to each other. We have our set ways. You're left, you're right. You believe this, you believe that. And we only want to hear the people who think like us, and nothing works out that way. We have to be a little more open-minded and listen to each other. I enjoy it. Brothers, I always appreciate this evening.
Absolutely.
It's a fun time. I have a good laugh.
Yeah. Gotta laugh it out. Gotta laugh it out.
I gotta worry that Bill's now watching my Ring camera and seeing my sneakers get delivered, that he knew I had New Balance sitting there. It's a little strange for me, but
I know my boy. Everybody, listen, you didn't have them New Balances when we was climbing them roofs and
I don't even know what the hell I had done.
I don't even know either. I don't know what the hell I had.
And if you did, it would scare me. But
word, exactly. Rich, give us some love, man.
Hey, listen, man, it's always a pleasure coming on this show and speaking my truth, and putting stuff out there and just striking good conversation. I think it's healthy conversation.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, we got to create change from this conversation. You can't just talk about it. They got a saying, don't talk about it, be about it, and I believe that. So with that said, I'm going to go out, try to make a difference. I called my car already. It just got here. I'll be leaving.
Hey, yo, oh my God.
Hey, Kev, you want me to pick you up?
Or get him, Adam 12. And look at it. Oh, my man, the elf. Yo, everybody, this is Real Talk. Listen, the bottom line is we're trying to invoke change. Help us spread the truth. You know what I'm saying? You tell me a podcast that's keeping it 100 like we are. We need the exposure. We need the love. Help us. We're trying to come up with thought-provoking situations. We're trying to solve problems. We ain't trying to create them. So listen, we're having conversations, open dialogue. Let's do that. Real talk. See you next week, baby. Bye, little elf. Rich, pick me up. You got to make the noise.